So what did you think about the details of the V-neck? Don't worry, I'm going to be sharing more with you. What this is a pattern review on Simplicity 9133. Now this is a summer tunic shirt. I'm gonna share with you the details on sewing the V-neck in, and then also go over all the details of this pattern. I have the shirt right here. I'm also gonna be trying it on for you, but let's go in order, and I will start with the sizing. It is, well, let me tell you the description. So basically this is a woven summer shirt. I love it because it comes in a round neck, a V-neck, also a square neck, and you can add sleeves if you'd like. I made view F right here. For the sizing, it comes like you will need to pick your envelope because this one comes in an 8 to a 16, but if you want the 18 to the 24, then just make sure that you select that envelope as well. So I'll just tell you the finished garment measurements. That's all that I ever look at. Otherwise, it comes out way too big. For the bust size is going to be a 36 inch, and it goes all the way up to 50.5 inches. So size 8 all the way to a 24. I made me a size 16, which shows here for the finished garment measurement is a 42.5, and my bust size measurement is a 40. So with woven fabrics, I usually do like a 2 to 3 inch ease. That's why I picked the size 16. Oh, and before I forget, I also wanted to point out that you guys did vote on my last video. Do you want the Simplicity 9133 or the knit dress Simplicity 8595? And it was a tie. So I decided to make both patterns, and so I am going to do a pattern review on this one next, but I am wearing the Simplicity 8595. And so don't worry, for those of you guys who voted for 8595, I did that one as well. I just need a minute to upload that video too. Okay, so back on track. Okay, were the instructions easy to follow? And I think that they were pretty easy to follow. Now the neckband, it came together nicely. They have you cut out a facing. I'll show you right here. So you want to cut out your front and your back, and then they provide you also with neckband facings and arm facings as well. Now I made this out of a crepe floral fabric. I'll give you more details of the fabric when I try it on. And so make sure if you're doing a V-neck, well actually all of the necks with this woven fabric, you're gonna want to stay stitch it. So I made sure to stay stitch the V so you can see how nice that V turned out. Because this is a crepe fabric, it is stretching out a little bit. I washed this fabric, well, I wash all my fabrics before I sew a garment with them. I also, because it's a stretch crepe, I hung it up to get all the stretchiness out of it. It still kind of misshapes it, but it's okay. Now, on the facings that they give you, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but it's so thick that I cut it down a lot. I ran it through my serger and I kept trimming it down. And then I also did top stitching all along the top of the neck facing, and then I top stitch right in here. Okay, so in here as well, they had it, the size of this facing was so thick that it would flap out when I wore it, even though I stitched it down. So I did a double stitching, and then I ended up cutting out that excess part with my pinking shears, and I just did 2 top stitches. Sorry, my camera keeps blurring it out. Let's see what else here. Oh, and when they call for an inner facing, I always, like if I use a rayon fabric, I always just use a quilter's cotton for my inner facing. I feel like that does the job. That is thick enough for me. And so I just do that. Plus I think it's really cute. So this one has this coordinating pink fabric to go along with the florals on the inside. And then on the bottom part, it also has you do this where you cut the slit. And I made the front a little bit shorter than the back here. When I make something with like a rayon fabric, they tend to fray very easily. So what I do is I go through and I serge every raw edge and then I sew them together. So it's, so both edges are serged. See how both edges are serged, and that's going to be really good when you run it through the washing machine. It's not gonna, come undone. It should last you a long time. And then the bottom here, I serged the bottom and then I folded it over. Oh no, this one I did my rolled hem foot along the bottom. And I think when I put this through the wash again, it's going to tighten everything back up, because this is like a stretch crepe fabric. Well, it's not a stretch, but you know what I mean. It's a wrinkly crepe fabric. Okay, did I do any alterations? Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, it also calls for darts. And I feel like the darts, they turned out fine. But you guys, I don't like doing darts at all. So if a pattern calls for darts, I pick a busy print like this. But I feel like the darts came out good. You can't even tell when I'm wearing it that it has darts. So are you ready to see the details of the V-neck? I'll take that as a yes. One thing that I do want to say about the V-neck, let me grab this. I always use fray check. So this is the fray check right here. I actually just purchased my fray check off of Amazon. You can get 2 bottles for, I think, $7. Ooh, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'll put a link down below. I do have an Amazon shop. So for my V-necks, I like to use the fray check. I also love pinking shears. You can see that I use them around here. Oh, and I also use them on the inside of my curves when I trim them. So you'll see that, because it helps for curves, and then it also helps so you don't have the bulk. So like if you don't want to serge the edges because it'll provide a lot of bulk, then it's nice to have these pinking shears. Here is the line that I drew all the way down the facing. And that's important to draw that line. That way you know where you need to quit sewing and where you need to pivot. So we'll just kind of go a little bit slow right here until we get to that blue line. And then I'm going to pivot it. I'm going to turn it a little bit, and I'm going to do 1 stitch. And then I'm going to turn it again and go up the other side. And another thing to point out, I use a 1/2 inch seam allowance. I feel like the 5/8 of a seam allowance is it's way too big. So now after I've sewn along the whole entire collar, it looks like this, and I'm going to cut into it. Let me grab my super sharp scissors, and I'm going to cut all the way down to that stitch line, and just make sure that you don't cut into the stitch, but as close as you can to that stitch line. And then I get really nervous because I cut so close to that stitch line, and that's where my fray check comes in. So I'm just going to use a little bit of fray check right here, just because I'm extra cautious. And then we are going to cut it with the pinking shears. I'm cutting the excess off so that when I fold it over, it's gonna lay really nice and flat. Now let's turn it over and we'll see what we have. And oh my gosh, you guys, cue the music. Okay, so tell me if that was not easy enough for you to do. I love how crisp it is. I went ahead and ironed it. So have you yourself ever tried V-necks? I know a lot of people get nervous about trying to make V-necks, whether it be knit or woven. So leave me a comment below if it sounds doable for you now. Okay, so we've reached that time in the video where I'm gonna leave you alone for a minute, because I'm gonna go and put it on, and then I'll come back and so you can see how it fits. I also have more pictures to show you, so I will be right back. So if you are impressed, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. and subscribe if you haven't already, as it just really helps out my channel. Okay, so here we have it. So I feel like the V is just very beautiful. It does where it just slightly kind of hangs off my shoulder right there. It provides so much coverage right here. A lot of ready-to-wear shirts kind of come out and they expose this area, but I love how that provides all that coverage. Let me turn it around here. Oh, I also like that there's no closures in the back because it's got the V-neck. So that is really nice. And it just fits really good in the armpit area. And I am just really happy with it. It's just kind of like a simple, basic shirt. There's really no fancy frills about it, although I did want to add ruffles right here. I so much wanted to, but then I was like, you know what? I don't have just a plain V-neck pullover casual shirt. So I really wanted to make this one basic, simple, and casual because also it's got the floral print to it anyways. Okay, so details about the fabric. I got the fabric from fabric.com, one of my favorite places to go. I think this was about like $5 a yard because I got it on the 50% off sale that they have every Friday. You gotta look on their every Friday for their deals. It's good quality fabric. I do like how casual it is because as you can see right there, I can wear it with shorts. I can also wear it with jeans. I can wear it to work. I can wear it on the weekends.
All the flowers in my garden never looked as bright as this. Like a happy child I watched them grow out of only seeds. Butterflies down my stomach when I think of you and me. It is funny how a lot can change when you learn how to breathe. Look at my eyes, what do you see?
So would I make this again? Yes, I think I will make it again. Especially I want to try this square neckline. You guys, I haven't done a square neckline before. So I know I was like all bragging about how I did the V. Let's see how good I do with the square neckline. Now, if you enjoyed this pattern review, I have so many other pattern reviews that you'll want to check out. So I want to thank you so much for watching, and I do hope to see you in my next video. So until next time, happy sewing. Bye guys.
Never looked as bright as this. Like a happy child I was.